Hi, water signs. My name is Michelle Kelly. Welcome to This Is Your Sign. This is your April 2021 reading for all the Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpios. So welcome. If you guys have already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. When you go into the subscriptions, it'll show you every time I put up a video. I usually put them up every week on Saturdays. So, and if you could give me a thumbs up if you like this, I'd really appreciate it. So welcome, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpios. Let's see what the month of April looks like for all of you water signs. The first one is Observer, and it's upside down. The next one is Unfinished Symphony, and the next one is Chop Wood. So Observer, when it's upside down, it's like your world has been turned upside down, and you thought that maybe what you were observing in a certain way you were supposed to go in. Maybe that's changed a little bit. And Unfinished Symphony is like, it's music, it's creativity, it is unfinished business. So I'm going to tell you, water signs out there, if you guys are interested in music, in songwriting, in the music business at all, this is saying you guys are meant to do it. Even if it's hard, even if you don't want to do it, if that is whatever makes your soul sing, okay? You are meant to do it. And this is also maybe something that you started and you thought, screw it, this isn't for me. It's like, yes, it is. And this is going back and cleaning it up, at least unfinished business. Like, you need to finish some things and not leave them unsaid. And maybe part of this, you need to close this chapter so you can move forward. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper. And Chop Wood, Carry Water is like, Chop Wood, Carry Water. It's like, keep doing what you're doing. It's like, open your mail, pay your bills, get up in the morning, take a shower, like do the next right thing and just keep going. So I'm going to dive deeper and let you know about Observer upside down, because I know maybe you guys, you were watching and now it's time to move. I'm just taking a guess at this one. I love this book because it really describes it so well. And then I get to give you guys my interpretation. So it says perspective, objective, neutral observation from a distance. This is an advantageous time for you to get some distance from what you're doing and see your work and projects from a different perspective. The trick is to connect to the essence of your goals and aspirations while letting them form and timing be dictated by spirit. You may be too personally attached to an outcome and unable to see the miracle because it's not turning out exactly as you planned. Trust spirit. The perfect vision of your abundance is right in front of you. Remain neutral and curious and watch the miracle unfold. So you guys, you needed time away from whatever it was you were doing. You needed to take a pause. And this is saying, you know, a lot of times we think something's supposed to go a certain way and it doesn't. And then you think, I'm not meant to do this. This isn't happening. I'm going to tell you something that happened to me. I wrote a song years ago. I wrote a country song. It was the first song I ever wrote. I'm not a writer. I am a writer. I didn't know I was a writer because I had such a hard time with reading. So I wrote a song, my very first song ever. I got it placed in 437 Texas Roadhouse restaurants. It is in the jukebox with Tim McGraw, with Faith Hill, with Cole Swindell, with Merle Haggard. It's with Miranda Lambert. So I have a song in there. And the singer signed off on the song. So I just had a girl from Nashville sing it. She was a paid for hire singer. So they put my name on it. So my name is in the jukebox with all of these people. And I'm like, this isn't a sign. I'm not meant to do this. Well, they were only supposed to keep my song in the jukebox for 2 years. It's been in the jukebox for 4 years. The company that put it in the jukebox just sold. So my song is staying in that jukebox. And I'm like, it's not a sign. And then I'm like, God, please show me a sign which way I'm supposed to go. And the day I said this, a girl from Florida did a line dance to my song and sent it to me and said, Michelle, please keep writing country songs so we have something to dance to. And I'm like, this is not a sign. And it is a sign. But it's such a hard business to be in, and you have to keep showing up and getting rejected over and over again. And I don't want to be in something where I get rejected over and over again. I've done that my whole life. So I'm like, I'm not meant to do this. I'm not doing this. And I'm a Scorpio, and this is saying like, oh, you're meant to do this. So if any of you guys out there are lovers of music and somehow music has touched your life in a way and you're around that, this is saying to pursue it and keep going. And this is my sign to keep doing it, but I don't want to. And usually when things are hard, I'm like, I don't want to do this. This is too hard. So I usually get mad first. Like, I'm not doing this. And then finally I'm like, fine, I'll do it. And then I end up crying about it. So it's a whole process. So this, whatever you are observing, whatever you had attachments to, it might not have went the way that you thought it was supposed to go. And that's okay. Just because it didn't go the way you thought it was supposed to go doesn't mean it's still not meant to happen. Maybe it's taken a lot more time than you thought it should, and you were taking it as a sign of this isn't meant to be. So as we go on, Unfinished Symphony, and this is a girl who's sitting on top of an egg that's on top of a piano, and there's notes all over it. So maybe you guys are thinking about playing an instrument. Maybe you took an instrument, in school and never pursued it, or you put it down, or you thought about taking lessons. This is like, go do it. It says unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, a lack of closure, the need to make amends. So this says, make sure you complete projects now before starting new ones. Perhaps you have created something special that will increase your sense of abundance and will bring you opportunities for wealth. However, if you don't see it through, it won't add up to anything but clutter. Now is the time to put your nose to the grindstone and complete the tasks that have accumulated. Pay your bills, sign your documents, do your filing, hand in an assignment, complete a work of art. Tie up loose ends so you can move forward with surety. Knowing you're on the prosperous path and feeling refreshed and excited about the future. So you guys, I don't agree with everything that was said in this, because yes, you have to pay your bills, you have to do all your things. It says if you don't see it through, it won't add up to anything more but clutter. You guys, everything happens for a reason. Whatever is meant for you is meant for you. I promise you can't screw it up, and you're not going to miss it. It will keep appearing and showing up and getting bigger and louder to the point that you can't miss it and you can't avoid it. So even if you're trying to avoid it and you're like, nope, I don't have to go back and do this, or maybe you need to close out a chapter in your life. Maybe you had bad blood with somebody, or something's going on with a relationship that you do need to have closure if you're able to do it. Now, I'm going to let you know that sometimes closure, you can't have it with the actual person because A, they're not approachable, it is not possible, but there are things you can do to make closure happen. If you owe someone an apology and you can't give it to them, you could write a letter to them and not send it and read it to somebody else. You could pray for that person every day for 2 weeks and ask God, bless them, change me. Bless them, change me. There are other ways to get closure without actually involving that person if you're not able to get to that person. So just know you can have closure with someone or something that is no longer here anymore, who's no longer around, or you're not able to contact. So there's the writing the letter, there's praying. When you write the letter, it would really be great if you could share it with somebody else that you trust, that you feel safe with. A pastor, a friend, somebody who's not going to judge you or make you feel any worse. And then the next one is chop wood. And chop wood, remember I was saying, and it is like pay your bills, do the next right thing. So maybe you owe somebody money. Maybe you owe, maybe you have to go back and do a couple of things. You guys, the thing that blocks us most is our ego. And our ego is our head telling us, you're not allowed to be wrong. You're not allowed to make mistakes. Or thinking somebody has tried to get one over on you. Most people are looking out for themselves at all times, and they are not intentionally trying to harm or hurt you. However, it might feel that way. And if somebody is intentionally trying to harm or hurt you, they are not well. They are extremely spiritually disconnected. So they can't hear you if you talk to them. And even if you scream at them, they can't hear you. And it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means whatever happened to them was so traumatizing that they are still trying to protect themselves and keep themselves safe. And hurt people hurt people. So if someone is trying to unintentionally harm or hurt you, it's because they're extremely wounded and they're extremely spiritually disconnected. It doesn't mean it doesn't suck. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It doesn't mean it's an excuse. It means you have permission to walk away from that person, even if they're related to you. So chop wood, it says being grounded in everyday experience, humility. Now is the time to take small steps rather than large leaps on the journey to creating your most prosperous life. Move your focus off of your big dream and attend to the mundane chores. Focus on the little things that may have piled up while you have been mapping out the greater plan for your life. You aspire to see manifest into reality. Chop wood, carry water. As the Zen proverb advises, wash dishes, walk the dog. While you're doing all of that, Spirit will have a chance to move mountains and set wondrous miracles in motion for you. Remain humble and aware in the present. Okay, you guys, I'm going to explain to you what being humble means. It doesn't mean someone is above you and you are below them. And it doesn't mean being humiliated. Being humble means we are all equal. Somebody is not better than you because of what their job is or how much money they make. And nobody is beneath you either. Nobody's lower than you because their life did not go the way you thought it should. Or some people give up on themselves. And that is really sad. And I hope that people never gave up on you. And also the thinking people who are lawyers, who are doctors, who are celebrities are better than or above you. Or if you're the president, your time is more of value. I'm going to tell you, we all get 24 hours in a day, every single person. We are all on the same clock. everybody's time is of equal value. I was a hairdresser. I used to think if I was a hairdresser and you were a lawyer, your time was more important than mine. And you were more valuable than I was. And what I realized is my perception was wrong. Nobody is more valuable or more important than me. We are all equal. We are all the same. Anybody who treats you like that they are better than you or less than you, that has nothing to do with you. But being humble means treating everybody the same. That I am the same amount of kind to the guy who picks up my trash as I would be if I met J-Lo. They're both the same. We are all the same. And that is being humble. So getting there, believing that, not putting people on pedestals. We are taught to put people on pedestals and then they fall off. And then people want to see you fall off of the pedestal and then knock you down. Well, guess what? I don't put people on pedestals anymore. I don't want to be on one either. I am going to make mistakes. I am going to say wrong things. I am going to do wrong things because I am human. And because I do that stuff, so does everybody else. So being humble remembers, and also the other thing is, we're all on the same journey. Some of us have just been on it longer. It doesn't mean we're better than because we've been doing it longer. It just means we've been doing it for longer and we have more experience. I have a lot of experience with spirituality and healing because I've been in recovery. I'm a recovering alcoholic and I've been in recovery since I've been 18 years old and I'm 49. So I've been working on coming out of an addiction for 31 years. So it doesn't mean I'm better than a person who comes into recovery today. It means we are both here for the same thing. We are trying not to drink or do drugs for today. That is all. And it means I've been here for longer. So what? Whoop-de-doo. Not better, not worse. What I need to do with my experience is to help anybody and everybody when I can, as long as I'm not harming or hurting myself. So that is my definition of being humble. And I hope you guys can understand that. If you have put yourself on the clearance rack, please mark yourself back up to full price. You are not meant to be on the clearance rack. However, if you have been at full price all the time and you think you're above then, you are doing that as a way to protect yourself. We all do things to guard and protect ourselves. And I used to feel like I was so lucky when somebody who I thought was above me gave me the time of day. And what that did is it allowed me to be wide open, and it allowed me to come from an extreme vulnerability where some people took advantage of that. But I was also allowing people to take advantage of that. So getting boundaries, having boundaries, saying no, saying stop, saying this isn't good for me is really hard to do. And I've been working on this for a really long time. And I've had to go to another 12-step program to learn how to get boundaries. I never knew I didn't have them. So to find out you don't have boundaries, to realize I need to go get them and where to get them and how to get them, and not just get them, how to keep them. So I'm in a program called ACA. It's Adult Children of Alcoholics. So if you guys are struggling with getting boundaries, having boundaries, keeping boundaries, I recommend looking at adultchildren.org and looking up all the symptoms. Look up the laundry list. I think everybody is an adult child in one form or another. Either you had alcoholic or mentally unwell parents or grandparents. It's for families of alcoholic, drug addicts, mental, religious abuse, and dysfunctional families, which includes the entire world. So that's where I go, and that's what I do, and that's what I keep doing to get boundaries, to have boundaries, um, and to be able to maintain them. So if you guys are wondering about that, the next one is exceeding expectations, and it says, I soar into excellence. This girl is on top of the world. And you guys, you are going to exceed what you even knew you were capable of. And I'm going to tell you, you guys are soaring into excellence. You are here, you're healers, you're light workers, you're psychic. You're here to help the world shift. You guys have so much to offer. I know some of you do not believe that, but you do. And I'm just going to give you an example. So just say you started a new job and you're vulnerable, right? You're starting a new job. You don't know anything. You're scared. You're nervous. 2 weeks later, after you start your job, somebody else starts. Guess what? You're the person with experience. You have 2 weeks experience. And the person who's just starting wants to hear what it's like from you, not the person who's been there for 24 years. Like, yes, it's nice to hear from the person from 24 years, but you're closer to the person with 2 weeks. And that's probably who you want to get the 411 from, get the information from, and find out what's ahead. So you guys, you are a lot more skilled and you have a lot more to offer than you realize. You're starting to realize, and it says embracing the future. I can step into the future with an open heart. This girl is walking through the door, and the world out there is big and beautiful and kind and loving. And I'm ready to cry again. Guys, I cry during these readings, but it's like, you can't believe that people are like this, because maybe you set your whole life thinking that that wasn't true and it wasn't possible, but it is true and it is possible. And you're starting to notice and see that there's beauty all around you, and you're starting to trust that, but you're just walking through the door now, and you're right on time. All the Cancer, all the Pisces, all the Scorpios. My friend Avery used to say, God is never in a hurry, but he's always on time. And you guys are right on time. You couldn't have done it any better. You couldn't have done it any faster. You've done a great job, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. The next one says, trusting your intuition. My life is truly guided. All right, guys. You're starting to believe that your life is truly guided, but guess what? You don't wake up one day and you're like, oh, my life is truly guided. You go through hell first to realize it's a miracle that you're alive. It is a miracle that you are still here, and you were here for a reason, and you have a purpose. And I'm going to tell you something that I heard Kathy Lee Gifford say, and if anybody doesn't know who she is, she was on Regis and Kathy Lee for years before Kelly and Ryan, and Kelly and Regis. But she said, if you have a pulse, you have a purpose. So whatever is going on in your life right now, if you have a pulse, you have a purpose, and you are meant to be on this earth. And you are believing that there was somebody divinely guiding you the whole time. And you know what? Before then, you weren't able to see that because you were in survival mode, because you needed to be. You needed to guard and protect yourself and keep yourself safe until you could not do it anymore, because you were freaking exhausted. And you don't have to do it all alone, and you don't have to do it by yourself. Your people are out there. They are out there for you. I know it's so hard to believe because maybe you guys had to do everything on your own and by yourself and feel like you had nobody and that you couldn't trust anybody. But these cards are letting me know, A, you can trust yourself. So you're safe no matter what. If you trust yourself, it doesn't matter who you're around because you can keep yourself safe at all times. And what does being safe mean? Like, I never even heard of the word safe until my girlfriend said it to me one time. Like, I heard safe in baseball. Like, my son played baseball and, you know, you're safe, you're out. Like, that, honestly, I didn't know what being safe meant. But being safe means protecting yourself, guarding yourself. And maybe you guys learned how to do it you had to do it in an extreme fashion. And now you're starting to let that go. So as you start to trust yourself, if you think this isn't right, usually when you think something isn't right, you feel it in your body too. You get headaches, you get stomach aches, your back hurts, you have chronic conditions, and if you do have a chronic condition, you might get a flare up when you're being put in a situation where you feel like, oh my God, I don't know about this, or I don't want to do this, or it just doesn't feel right. You guys get warning signs. You can trust that and you can listen to that. Okay, so you guys can hear it. Everybody can hear it. But being able to trust it and follow that, it's a process. You don't just wake up one day, here, this isn't right for me, and I'm out of here. Usually when you have to get out of there are going to be consequences. People are going to judge you. They're not going to like you. They're going to say mean things to you. Getting comfortable with people saying that and doing that. What other people think of me is none of my business. Usually you have to harm and hurt yourself so bad to the point that you have to do that first in order for you to start believing and trusting your intuition and being able to follow it. And what happens is you're able to follow it sooner. Not you're just going to be able to do it like that. It doesn't work like that. At least that hasn't been my experience. I'm going to tell you guys, you can trust yourself. If you are in a relationship with somebody and you think they constantly look at other people and you think they might be cheating on you, chances are that intuition is correct. If you think everybody you meet is going to cheat on you, you might subconsciously pick people that do that. And it's not because you're not enough, and it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's almost like because that's been your experience, you don't know how not to do that. So there are ways, how I was telling you, I'm in the adult children of alcoholics and dysfunctional families, the ACA, where I am getting deprogrammed to thinking people are out to harm and hurt me, that people are setting me up, that people meant to hurt me, that people did this on purpose. I had to get deprogrammed from all of that stuff because I used to think like that too. So being deprogrammed from that, it depends how long it's been happening for you. If that's happened to you, for me, it's happened to me for most of my life. I've been in the ACA recovery for almost 9 years. So even after 9 years, you would think, oh my God, Michelle, she should have her shit together. She should be great. She should never make mistakes. She should be able to listen to her intuition, never do the wrong thing, never say the wrong thing, never trust somebody that she shouldn't. I don't do it for as long. That's all. And I'm kinder and more loving to myself when I give somebody a chance and I realize I was right the first time. So you guys, this is a process. Please, be kind and loving to yourself. Any kind and loving thing you can say to yourself, that is coming from the divine. Anything negative or nasty, that is coming from your head and your ego and not your heart. And that is what you need to work on getting rid of. So the next card is clarity, and it says, banish the fog of illusion. Open your eyes to the truth. Remember the perfection of who you are. So you guys, green is love and healing. I've been working on looking at the colors, and it's growth and new beginning and health and renewal and harmony and healing and peace and new chapters and planting the seeds. So you guys, you don't just wake up one day and get clear. This happens little by little. It's like peeling an onion. And do you guys know how many layers there are just on the skin of the onion, even before the skin? You keep peeling, and every time you get down a layer, there's another layer. So you're getting more and more clear. So this is the divine saying, congratulations. You guys are doing a fabulous job. I promise you, if you knew better, you would have did better. And this is the divine asking you to start forgiving yourselves. The next one is destiny, and it says, acknowledge your mission. Align with your purpose. You have gifts to share with the world. So blue is security, trust, loyalty, responsible, protects, calms, relaxes, supports, confidence, peace, honesty, and reliability. So you guys, you are all of these things. You are all of these things. And maybe blue is your favorite color, or you have blue eyes, or blue means something to you. But it says you have gifts to share with the world. And you know what your gift is to share with the world? It's you. You're the gift. And you don't have to have anything else but yourself. That is what the divine wants for you. It wants spirit, the divine, angels, guides, your higher power, whatever you believe in, source, nature, the birds, whatever you use for your higher power. They want you to believe that the gift is you. You're more than enough. You have been through hell. You guys have survived so much, and your experience and your wisdom is your gift to the world. And anything on top of that is a bonus. You guys are really creative. You have many gifts, but you are psychic, you're healers, and you guys are getting clarity. You're getting better. I'm thinking things are happening that are maybe making you second guess yourself right now, but this is like you can trust yourselves. The next one is partnership, and it's purple, and purple is spiritual, and purple is also psychic, inner vision, wisdom, color of the evolving soul, unconscious wisdom, collective knowledge of mankind. This has butterflies. Learn to grow with others, overcome obstacles by working together with each other's hearts while life lasts. So you guys, maybe you're having a hard time with friends, with other people right now. This is saying you're going to learn how to grow with other people around, and maybe you were taught that other people aren't safe, or they hurt you or harm you. I'm going to tell you right now, every single person is going to let you down. Every single person is going to make a mistake. We all do that. That is human. I can never promise you that I won't harm you or hurt you. I hope that I never do. I hope that I don't intentionally harm or hurt anybody. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to. What I can hope for and what I'm hoping for is that if I ever do that to anyone, that I am approachable, that somebody feels comfortable enough to come up to me and say, hey, when you said this, you really hurt my feelings. So I can try and correct that. So I'm asking you to try and do the same for other people. For as much as you want other people to do the right thing, to say the right thing, to never hurt you, to never say the wrong thing, we all want that. We all expect other people to know, but they don't know. They don't know until you tell them. And we don't know until they tell us. So like, I can't know what harm, if I harmed or hurt you unless you told me. So the same, you might do that to somebody else. And if they can't tell you, you can't correct it or fix it unless you know. So I'm just asking you, for all the things that you want and expect out of other people, I'm asking you to please be open to doing the same. If you want people to return your phone calls, you need to return phone calls. If you want people to follow through with what they say, then you need to follow through with what you say. So all these things that you're looking for other people to do, you need to do that also. And not everybody can do that. And it's not because it's personal, and it's not because there's something wrong with you or wrong with them. A lot of times what it is we were all taught to self-sabotage. And the only way to keep going, to stay consistent, is to have support and keep showing up, even when you don't want to. So it's persistence, it's consistency, and it's having support and communicating what you want and what you need from others. So this is your sign, signing off for all the Cancer, all the Pisces, all the Scorpios, all the water signs for the month of April. I am sending you all of the love and light that I possibly can. This is your sign, signing off. If you're still watching, thank you so much, and please subscribe to my channel.